Oh, hey Bruce. Welcome back to Murder Most Misfortunate. Sorry, I have to say it really, dramatically because everybody else is being dramatic. And I don't want to be over dramatized. I want to be, on their level. You know what I mean? Especially since they're voice acted. So, let's carry on, shall we? See where this goes.
I'm not exactly sure that
We're mostly just sitting here watching this together, right?
But I'll admit,
It's like a movie. It's like movie night. Settle in, everyone. Get a bucket of popcorn.
That was such a monstrous sight. Do you think Miss Leah and Miss Charisse will be alright?
All right. They looked healthy enough to me.
Yeah, they'll live.
No, I mean, do you think they'll be distraught? You, if you don't mind me saying, are a woman of the world, Misfortune.
That sounds pretty rude to me.
But they're so young, so pure. Like a newly bloomed flower that has only seen sunlight, never knowing that there is also night and all the horrors that it hides.
Even the poses are super dramatic.
Rose, by any other name, can still prick you quite nastily if you don't know what you're doing.
I beg your pardon.
Never mind, my dear Horatio.
Alright, about the prince.
Horatio, how long had you known our dear...
No one seemed to like him that much because no one's really upset about the fact that he's dead.
I have, well...
Though he was obviously a supervillain, so...
friend and
that's
confidant
fair.
for many years.
His closest friend.
Oh yes, the grand magus of his court.
Bloody hell. Friends like that.
I did, but alas, though I can conjure a parlor trick or two, I could do little to foresee this unseemly doom.
Need an oracle for that.
Indeed, unseemly. Just the word I would have used. Presumably you would know then, if the prince had any enemies.
A man like the prince always does, but none of them are here.
You know what? That's
I
fair.
would say the evidence suggests the contrary.
That's also fair.
Surely you don't mean to suggest that it was one of us. After all, didn't you say that all your husbands just died from bad luck? Perhaps it was that.
I got a bad luck stab in the back with a knife.
Yes, quite. Bad luck.
As someone who's his closest friend, you don't seem too concerned about the fact that someone might have killed him. I mean, he's got a knife wound in the back, for fuck's sake. Wait, you think that was an accident? You think he tripped and fell on a knife in the middle of his back? Where were you?
Where were you when this absolutely dreadful business happened?
I imagine I must have still been in the basement, or very close to it. I'd only just got the lights back on, and I was coming up the stairwell when Klops found me.
Was he the one to discover the body then?
I believe so. He asked me to help find all the guests, which leads me to cleverly deduce that I was the first one he encountered after the gruesome discovery.
Okay, very clever.
Clever indeed. Nothing gets past you, does it, dear?
Why are you humoring him like that? And so sarcastically.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. But where were you, Misfortune?
Stabbing the prince in the back with a knife.
In the king bedroom.
I mean, nowhere.
As it happens, yes. I've always been the sort to need a little bit of me time every so often, you know.
But you could have been in danger.
Oh, horrors, you're right. If only I was clairvoyant, I might even have been worried at the time, too.
Well, never fear. You're safe with me now.
Yes, I'm sure I am.
I feel safer already. The announcement.
Prince Titanico mentioned an announcement that he wished to make this evening. Do you know what that was all about?
Yes, or at least I think so.
You mean you're not sure?
You must understand, the prince was a man with a flair for the dramatic.
You don't fucking say.
Secrets and perhaps his surprises.
That I don't doubt. In fact, I wouldn't put it past him to have staged his own death, just to leave us all in suspense.
My dear
That would be
friend,
quite the
you
ruse
have
indeed.
rather unusual tastes, but I fear in this case it was not part of the plan.
I see. So, are you going to tell me then?
About what?
The plan.
About the announcement, of course.
No, I think not.
Oh?
As I said, he liked his secrets. I'm telling you now, it just wouldn't be what he'd want.
Are you sure about that?
Well, if you do so insist on being obstinate, I suppose I will have to make do on my own.
I like that pose.
A true magician never reveals his secrets, Misfortune, nor those of his friends.
I do believe it's about time I took a bit of a stroll.
Do be careful, Misfortune, and please, if you have need of my talents,
Yes, meet me over by the large, unsurvivable
If
cliff.
the lights happen to go out again, I'll know just who to call.
It's something I want to show you. You may now examine your inventory. Oh, good. Do we have anything in our inventory? Where should I go? Well, that's a good question. We have our purse.
The evening must be wearing on me more than I thought. Even my purse seems heavy. A knife? In my bag? It's even flecked with blood.
That's the knife from the fucking cabinet that we were looking at. Damn it, we killed him after all.
A ring? It looks decidedly pricey, but it's not one of mine. How did it get here?
Diamond ring.
For just a moment, I was confused. But then the gruesome sight of Titanico's body flooded my thoughts, and the truth hit me. I was being set up. Almost certainly, what I held in my hands was the knife that had stabbed the prince.
Yes. That's why it's got blood on it.
I don't know how it got in my purse, but whoever put it there had made a mistake. Because if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that anyone who tries to frame me for murder is going to regret it.
He's gonna get murdered. And then I will be a murderer. Anyway. Shall we go to the main hall then? Is that where we already are? I don't even know. Let's just work our way down the list. Oh yeah, did go.
As best I knew, our mysterious murder had happened here, in the hall. At the very least, I thought the body warranted a closer look. Luckily for me, I was no stranger to corpses. Funerals for 9 different husbands will do that, you know.
Maybe you should have a closed casket.
13, 14, 15. It seems I'm not alone here. But what is the poor girl doing? She's just pacing back and forth and muttering to herself. Have the evening's events already broken her fragile little mind?
The movie has warped my fragile little mind.
My dear little mysteries, what in the world are you doing? I'm counting. So good to see they still teach that in these days.
Fucking sucky bitch. Nice.
I think the timing seems off. I need to check again. On second thought, maybe they don't teach it so well after all.
You know, it's weird how much of a sarcastic bitch our character is. and no one seems to like react to it. They just sort of ignore it. The timing.
I almost think I'll regret asking. But darling, what timing is off?
It's Mr. Klops, the butler.
Valet.
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, what about him then?
He's too big for his suit.
Go into this room when the lights were out.
I see. Is that when he found the body, do you think?
I think so. He came running out looking for Mr. Horatio. I don't think he saw me.
Oh, well, you can't blame the poor man for that. He only sees half as much as the rest of us. But just what does that have to do with all your pacing and counting?
I think he was in here too long.
I beg your pardon. Too long?
I've been timing how long it takes to walk from the door to the body. It doesn't add up. I'm sure he was in here longer. Maybe an extra 20 seconds.
Maybe he had to get his knife back in.
Well, aren't you a delightfully clever little girl? Maybe you should have been a detective rather than a fabulously wealthy industrial heiress.
Nah.
Oh, it's nothing, really. It's just... well, it's not my first time being around a murder case. That's all. I guess that helps a little.
Another murder?
I'm sorry, my dear, but did you say this isn't your first murder?
No, I'm not a virgin murderer.
I mean, no. I mean, it wasn't my murder. But I was there when it happened.
My. I never would have imagined. It must make for an absolutely thrilling story, I'm sure.
Please, you must forgive me, but I really don't want to talk about it.
I think that's fair.
Of course. How rude of me to pry. I'm sure the experience must have been just ghastly for you. But, oh my, you don't suppose it could have something to do with our current predicament, do you?
No. No, I don't think so. It was a long way away, and the killer was stopped. And besides, except for Leah and I, nobody here was involved.
Well, that's a relief. It would be just awful if there was a serial killer following you around, or something like that.
Oh, yes, you sound like a
It must
really
just be
distraught you.
coincidence, then, that people keep dropping dead wherever you go.
I suppose that it must be.
Anyway, you and the prince?
In any case, it's a good thing I found you, my dear. I had a feeling you just might be in need of my expertise.
Your expertise?
Oh, yes, dear. I've buried 9 husbands after all.
My
I've got
God.
this morning business down pat, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I just mourn like that. Bam, I'm over it.
Forgive me, I didn't know. I'm so sorry to hear it. That's just so much bad luck for one lifetime.
It's their bad luck, not mine.
One gets used to it. And it's not all bad news. My last husband, the Duke, left me this marvelous country estate that is absolutely to die for. But, silly me, here I am going on and on about myself. You must be so terribly distraught about all of this.
The prince and I, well, we hadn't been seeing each other for very long. But still, it's such a horrible crime. That's why I can't rest until I know the truth behind it.
Can I check the body now?
He did seem rather smitten with you, I must say.
Well, I got oodles of money.
He just liked to exaggerate, I'm sure. He had rather his own unique way with words.
Unique is one way to put it. You don't suppose that, in his grandiose infatuation, he wrote you into his will, did he?
Oh, I can't imagine that he would have. He never said so anyway.
Pity. That's usually the first thing I ask for.
That's why I killed 9 husbands.
Live and learn, my dear.
I mean, 9 of them died. Examine room. Can I look at the body now? I clicked on his butt. Did you see that?
I decided it was time to take a closer look at the body. Corpses are always a bit distasteful, to be sure.
Don't taste him.
But I'd seen enough rich old lords killed in unfortunate hunting accidents that I was rather used to it.
Accidentally, brutally slit his throat while cutting his hair.
The prince's most obvious injury was the wound on his back. Judging from the way the clothes had been pierced, it had almost certainly been made by a knife.
No shit, the one I've got in my pocket.
The wound itself was deep and vicious. Clearly the work of no ordinary butter knife. The blood had soaked through the back of the prince's evening wear, but given the nastiness of the wound itself, there wasn't as much of it as I might have expected.
He must have fallen from the balcony. His leg is broken. Extremely broken.
The prince was face down on the floor, and there was an odd angle to his right leg. So odd, in fact, that I'd wager a platinum necklace or two.
Is there a balcony above here? Because that's where he was killed.
Could simply collapsing on the spot from a stab wound cause a break like that?
No.
I seriously doubt it.
Indeed. Have we got anything else? Hand.
There was something odd about the prince's right hand.
Has he got something in his hand?
I knelt down to get as close a look as I could.
He wrote down the murderer's name in it.
The palm and inside of the fingers had been burnt and blackened. I checked the left hand as well, just to be sure.
It looks fine.
But it seemed undamaged.
I agree. It looks fine. I think we're done here. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Is there anything else we can look at? Oh, the balcony. Obviously, he fell off of this. Was he writing something when he fell?
I suppose I could dial a number here, if I knew of one worth calling.
Call the police. Call the popo. Call the 50. Maybe not. Help! There's been a murder. Come on, he must have been writing something important, like his will.
The house must have been abandoned for quite some time indeed. For on one side of the hall, part of the wall itself had collapsed, and nature was slowly but surely spilling into the house and reclaiming its territory.
Gross.
Let's hope that the place would hold up long enough for us to wrap up our little party at the very least.
Yeah, and we're having such fun. Do we really have to leave? I'm having such fun. I think we're done here. I don't think there's anything else to look at. Alright. Let's roll. On to the next room. Hiya. If you get an important piece of information, it may be useful to go back and talk to characters you've previously talked to. So tick means Dunsky? I guess. I like the point and click thing. This is fun. You're all done. I guess I'll examine the room. Who knows what we may find?
Long, narrow tables stretched down either side of the room for what seemed like forever. At one end were the remnants of our refreshments from earlier, but I think I'll leave them alone for now. I mean, it didn't look like poison had anything to do with the prince's death, but one can never be too careful.
A poison blade. Possibly unnecessary, but just to make sure, you know. I don't want him pulling through. You're not pulling through on my watch. Alright, let's leave. On to the next room. Oh man, it's raining. I don't want to be out here. The rain looks real good though. Very impressive.
When I'd first arrived at the manor house, I thought it might rain that evening. And in light of recent events, I half expected a flash of lightning to provide an atmospheric backdrop to the stage of our little drama, complete with the clap of thunder as the applause. But the night air hung cold and still, and the only sound was the rustling of weeds and brush that clawed against the foundations of the building. Wait, rustling? But there isn't any wind. Who's that out there?
Probably Clops.
It's just me, Misfortune, ma'am.
I say,
Solid
what
snake.
world are you
Big
doing
boss.
poking about in the brush like that? Don't tell me they get you to do the groundskeeping around here too.
In the rain. Hidden in a cardboard box.
Sometimes I do a bit of gardening. Yes, you know, when things get out of hand.
Gardening at a time like this?
Well, no, ma'am. Right now, I'm keeping an eye out for strangers, just to keep everyone safe.
The butler did it. Who knew?
What a relief.
That's never happened
I
before.
do feel ever so much safer when a hulking man with an eye patch is lurking in the shadows right outside the house.
It's a good feeling.
So, you were in quite the tizzy when you came running to find me earlier. Was it you who found the body?
Yes, ma'am. I found it in the hall, just like you saw.
And what were you doing before that?
Well, I let the boss, the prince, into the hall to take his phone call. Then I went to the pantry to get more candles for the dining room. I didn't know how long Horatio was going to be with the lights.
So, the prince was alone then when you left him in the hall?
Yes, ma'am, without a doubt.
Why then, it appears you may have been the last one to see the poor prince alive.
Seems likely.
Wouldn't that actually have been the killer, ma'am?
I think she was insinuating
I
that.
suppose so. But then, you did just say you were quite certain he was alone.
Quite.
What do you mean by that? I'm just doing my job here.
Oh yes, of course. I'm sure you're quite excellent at, well, whatever it is that valets do.
Park cars? I don't fucking know. Phone call.
That's right. In all this commotion, I'd almost forgotten the whole reason the prince left us was to take a phone call. Do you know who was calling?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Well, that's a little odd. They didn't give a name.
I asked, but they said the matter was confidential.
So you spoke to them then. Can you describe anything at all about the caller?
Yes, I took the call, and they asked for the prince right away. Which is a bit funny, now that you mention it. I didn't think very many
He hasn't moved in yet, has he?
number. Anyway, pretty sure the caller was a woman. She was all crisp and businesslike, too. I'm afraid I can't tell you more than that.
At least she's keeping crispy.
I suppose it would be too much to hope that this rotting old place would have call display.
No, ma'am. It's a wonder most of the wiring around here even works at all.
Must be magic, I suppose.
What are you doing?
My dear Clops, please tell me you didn't really think there might still be a stranger lurking around here in the underbrush.
Well, ma'am, no one was watching the door when the prince was in the hall. Whoever did it could have run right out the front door.
Why, indeed they could have. Not much gets by you, it seems.
Man, we're not going to earn any
Here
friends
you
like
are,
with our
searching
attitude,
for
eh?
leads at the base of the house. With the coast clear, would our furtive stranger not just have kept going?
sure he probably did. I'm just looking for footprints.
Oh, footprints now. Ah, yes, of course. And have you found any?
No, ma'am.
More's the pity. It would have been so much nicer to believe the killer was no longer in the house. Especially with our resident bodyguard busy traipsing through the muck outside.
Sorry, ma'am, but I'm just a valet.
Of course you are.
Hmm. That's why you're built like a brick shithouse.
Can you tell me anything about our late host? Perhaps about this...
You park the horses
of his?
by just lifting them up.
About the boss? I mean, the prince? Sorry, ma'am, but he wasn't the sort to confide in a mere valet like myself.
Oh, come now. I know how it is with servants. You're bound to have seen or heard a thing or two about the house, whether your master knows it or not.
Look, I take my duties seriously. I make it a point not to see things that I'm not supposed to see.
Yes, I suppose not seeing things would be rather a special thing.
Fucking hell.
Tell me, have you worked for the prince for a long time?
Bitch.
Yes, ma'am. Many years now.
And you're still just a valet? Tisk tisk. Promotions must be hard to come by in that household.
Jesus. She's a venomous woman, huh?
There were stories from the time of the Revolutionary War that when soldiers first stormed the grounds of the Lee Manor, ferocious spectral beasts appeared out of nowhere to tear apart the terrified trespassers. Of course, you can't believe everything you hear.
It must be true. It was on Facebook.
I found myself keeping a watchful eye on the wolf statues in the courtyard, just to be sure.
Everybody knows everything on Facebook is true. I don't actually mean that, just so you know.
Phillips claimed he had already checked the ground around the house for footprints, but I thought it couldn't hurt to double check.
You didn't even believe him when he said that.
Apparently I thought wrong, though, for as I stepped off the path into the brush, the weeds and thorns tore at my skirts and scratched my ankles. You know, I think I'll just take the one-eyed brute's word for it after all.
I mean, I want to investigate as much as the next guy, but not if I'm going to get scratched or have my dress ruined. Fuck that. Ooh, shed.
A rundown shed sat in the corner of the yard. Gingerly, I tried the door, but the wood had swollen, and it seemed stuck in its frame. It was just as well, I suppose. Ugh. Why would I want to go inside a moldy old shed anyway?
Get out of the rain, I guess. That seems like a good enough reason to me. Can we look at the bush? That looks like a bush that someone could hide in. Wait, aha.
Phillips claimed
Oh man, I already done that.
found around the house for foot. Apparently,
Alright, we're done examining here. I guess we're done. Thanks, Mr. Klops. Sigh. I want to open this. Oh,
I
hey.
returned to the king bedroom, where I'd been when the whole grisly affair started. I thought it might give me a chance to think by myself, but alas, it was not to be.
Alright, let's have a chat with her.
Curtains were drawn back, and a particularly pernicious twerp of a girl was leaning halfway out the window. After what had already happened, it would be such a shame were she to slip and go out all the way.
Please
Young
don't kill her.
girls these days really ought to be more careful.
We'll talk to her and then we'll wrap this one up. Your murder mystery.
So, your sweet little friend. She can be quite the tease, it seems. I I was just talking to her earlier, and she let it drop that this wasn't her first murder case.
Ah.
You must think you're very clever for worming that out of her. You know, I bet you're one of those people who think they're a lot smarter than they really are, aren't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
My dear Leah, something like that is not exactly the wisest thing to say when you're perched precariously on the edge of a window. It's ever so fortunate that I'm in a good mood today.
A good mood? Here, now. How could... No, never mind. I forgot who I was talking to.
In any case, my dear, Miss Therese said the only other one here who was involved in that case was you. No matter how smart I might or might not think I am, surely you can't blame me for wondering whether it might be relevant to our current predicament.
Well, it's not. Not directly, anyway.
What do you mean by that?
Aha, not directly. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, spill the beans, lady.
Look, I don't want to talk about it, and I'm sure Sherry said the same thing. It was bad. For everyone, but especially for her. The truth she learned that day, she's never going to forget. And she definitely doesn't need you dredging it all up.
Her family's shady past, I have to guess this?
There's no need to tell me, darling. She learned the truth about her family, didn't she? That not all that lovely money of theirs was obtained through, how shall we say, completely honest business. It's plain as day, really. Insufferably idealistic young socialite comes into her fortune and starts throwing it at every charitable cause she can find out of guilt. Oh yes, I know her type well enough.
We learned that her family had been mixed up with some really bad people. More than just bad. With true evil.
True evil.
And so it turns out her life of wealth and comfort was built on the blood of innocence. So very tragic for her, I'm sure.
She just wants to make up for it all. Make it all right again.
It's not her fault.
Sometimes I worry she thinks she can carry the weight of the whole world. She pushes herself hard enough.
Yes, I did say insufferably idealistic, didn't I?
Yes, I did say you're smarter than you think you're not as smart as you think you are.
Person than you'll ever be, then yeah, that's spot on. She just needs someone to watch her back. That's all.
And let me guess, you do whatever it takes to keep your dear little friend safe, wouldn't you?
Whatever it takes.
My, such ardor, such resolve. Remind me never to get on your bad side, darling.
Too late.
Yeah, you're on everyone's bad side already. You're kind of a jerk. Alright, we're going to wrap this one up here because we don't have time to finish this one up. So we'll finish up questioning her and examining the room in the next one. I'm really enjoying the gameplay now that this episode's been all gameplay pretty much. It's cool. I like how you talk to people, it unlocks new conversation options with other people. I like it a lot. Anyway, we'll see where this goes. Thanks for watching, Bruce. I'll see you in the next one.